ABC's Marcus Moore is in Texas. Marcus, the early voting there has just been incredible to watch. Those lines and the numbers, the total votes counted in 2016 now surpassed in the early voting. So what's driving the surge in turnout, and how do you think it's going to affect this race in Texas?
Well, Terry, certainly a lot of people are energized. There's been a lot going on here in this country, and both sides have been trying to get their people out to the polls. And those record numbers that you've seen here in Texas, more than 9.5 million people casting ballots during the early voting, the Democrats feel like that is a good sign for them here in Texas, because historically, many of the early votes have been many of the people who support the Democratic side, and many anticipate that tomorrow will be the big day for President Trump and his supporters, where they are expected to, according to the campaign, show up in large numbers to cast their ballot. There is no doubt, Terry, that as we head into Election Day, this is a very close race. When you average out the polls, President Trump is only leading by 1 point here in Texas, and that is significant because, as you know, Texas has historically, at least for the past several decades, been a Republican stronghold, and now it seems that there will be a real fight tomorrow night.
Absolutely. It is not much redder than Texas over the past few decades. Now, Republican officials in Texas have gone to federal court to get nearly 127,000 votes cast at drive-through polling stations thrown out down in Harris County. So what's the latest on that case?
Terry, yes, we are in Harris County right now, and we're waiting for the judge's ruling. There's a hearing that started this morning. It was running about 4 hours long. They just took a recess, and we anticipate that any moment now the judge who's been hearing the arguments will reveal his decision in this case. What the Republicans are saying is that those 127,000 ballots that were cast at drive-through locations, 10 different drive-through locations here in Harris County, violated state election laws, and that those ballots should be thrown out. Terry, it's important to point out that the Texas Supreme Court has already heard the arguments on this case, and they have dismissed them. And so far, the Texas Supreme Court has said that there's no merit to the plaintiff's case. But that federal judge could make a different decision, and that is what the Republicans are hoping for. And Terry, just to give you a better idea of how significant this is, if you consider how close this race is, and Harris County is largely Democratic. It is the most populous county here in Texas, and it is strongly Democratic. And so for 127,000 votes to be thrown out, it could have a huge impact on the outcome. The judge this morning was asking the Harris County clerk what would happen if he decided to throw out those ballots, and we have heard that if indeed that's the decision, all of those voters would have to go back to the polls tomorrow to cast those ballots once again.
A lot at stake there in Harris County. And one more thing out of Texas. We've seen this video, the Biden campaign bus surrounded by trucks flying Trump flags on a highway down in Texas. So what are the campaigns saying about this incident?
Yeah, Terry, I actually saw a similar scene at a polling place in Dallas where Beto O'Rourke was stumping. We've heard from both sides of this. The Trump campaign saying that those Trump supporters who you saw in the video did absolutely nothing wrong, and that this is being blown out of proportion, whereas the Democrats are saying that this was voter intimidation. And Simone Sanders, a senior advisor for the Biden campaign, said that this was reckless and dangerous, what the president said. We know, Terry, that the FBI is investigating that incident, and certainly that video has been making the rounds and has a lot of people talking.
It does indeed. Marcus Moore in Texas, thanks very much. And one more for us now.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.